red-chested hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel ever struck out generous fire. Secret and self-contained and solitary as an oyster. But cold within him, froze his old features, pinched his pointed nose, shriveled his cheeks, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice.
Humbug!
No warmth could warm nor wintry weather chill him. He carried his own low temperature perpetually about with him. He iced his office in the dog days of summer and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas. Where shadowy carts and carriages battled for the way, with all the strife and tumult of a real city.
Recall this place?
Recall it? Why, bless my soul, it's old Fezziwig's. I was apprenticed here. There's old Fezziwig. Yo-ho, my boys. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve.
In came Mrs. Fezziwig, one vast, substantial smile. In came the three Miss Fezziwigs, beaming and lovable. In came the young followers whose hearts they broke. In came all the young women and men employed in the business. In came the housemaid, the baker, the cook, and the milkman. In they all came, one after another, some shyly, some boldly, some gracefully, some awkwardly, some pushing, some pulling. In they all came together, anyhow and everyhow. And away they all went, 20 couples at once. Scrooge's laughter came from his eyes having been opened, and that was a good enough start for him.